I think that the technical problems are over and I'm about to talk to you about Office. It does say rotate device, so it could be that I'm talking to you from a 90-degree angle. If anybody is watching, I have pasted into the YouTube and to the event listing the slide deck, so if you want to link to the slide deck you can follow along. That will be super exciting. So the first page looks something like this. So I'm going to be talking through the recruitment process for Summer of Tech 2017 and also Summer of Biz. We are getting very close to Office Day. It's the 4th of October, which is next Wednesday. Yikes. So slide 1 says recruitment zone. Get into it. Catherine has informed me that I'm definitely on an angle. So let's try and do some magic. Excuse me, jittery. Way. Hey, I think I'm up right now. So, magic will occur when I can get my phone to go into this magical thing. Maybe Catherine can. Yay for technical difficulties. Bring it on. So, I'm going to rock into slide 2, which says that this is about making career decisions. Oh, that's so not going to work. But that will totally go that way. Maybe. Anyway, okay, making career decisions and dealing with the recruitment process for 2017. Slide number 3. The other stuff I'm going to be talking about is how to understand the choices you need to make and have people available to ask for help, because things are going to move really fast when offers come out on Office Day. So this is what I'm going to cover. So slide number 4, talking about the recruitment process, how to make career decisions, and some bits and pieces for you to do between now and Office Day. Slide number 5 is just a quick reminder of why we're here. Summer of Tech exists to get you more internships. Everything that we have done to design our office process for this year has been based on 10 years of experience getting things ready. Oh look, we have a tripod. Yay, life is good. Bring it on. Thank you. Yay. Now you get to look up my nose. So, alright, rocking into slide number 6. Just a reminder that for students in our program, everything we're trying to do with releasing offers all at once at 10 o'clock in the morning next Wednesday is to try and maximise the number of placements and also to have all your opportunities presented to you at the same time. We are coaching the employers as much as we're coaching the students, so really trying to get them ready to host amazing internships this summer. So I'm up to slide number 7, just a little bit of an anatomy of how our internship recruitment process runs. It all started with meet and greet, which was a couple of weeks ago. That was an opportunity for candidates and employers to network, to meet each other, and for you to ask really good questions of the employers. A week later we had speed interviews, and that was optional for employers. So if you didn't get invited to a speed interview, don't panic. Not all the employers participated in speed interviews. A lot of them have been doing their own recruitment systems. Some of them are using video interview techniques, which are pretty horrible for most people, but they're a really efficient way for them to interview. They've been doing on-sites, they've been doing phone interviews and Skype interviews for people who are out of town. This week has been a lot of follow-up interviews, and we're even getting to the point of reference checking. I know that that's happening as well. Next week, Monday and Tuesday, employers will be loading their offers up onto our website, and they'll all be released on Wednesday morning, about 10 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of October. The offers, when they come to you, will come by email. They'll also be visible on the dashboard when you're logged into our website. The email offer must include things like an hourly rate or a pro rata salary. So what are you going to get paid? They'll also have to include the name of your mentor or manager. And there may be some additional stuff in the text, for example, start and finish dates, or if you've got holidays planned during the summer, that kind of thing may be included in the offer letter. What we ask employers to do, though, is within 2 weeks of your acceptance of an offer, that they must send you a full employment contract. So the contract is between them as the employer and you as the employee, but we don't require that to be agreed in full on offers day. That must come within a fortnight though. And then the work starts. So mid-November to mid-February is generally the period of our internships. They're full-time, so we are expecting them to be working hours Monday to Friday for at least 10 weeks or 400 hours. I'm up to slide number 8. So just a reminder that it all began at meet and greet. It sort of began before then with your profile on our website, so well done for putting all that amazing effort into it. Those of you who attended meet and greet, good job. Most of the employers decided who they wanted to interview based on who they met at our meet and greet events. From the employer perspective, so looking at slide number 9, after meet and greet, they started long listing or shortlisting, just making a list of people that they thought might be suitable for their various roles. We encouraged them to make that visible to you so you could see if you were being considered for a role. They also started really locking down their budgets and who was going to be available to mentor. So you would have noticed that there were some roles that disappeared, unfortunately, but there have been new roles added since meet and greet. So things get a little bit fluid between meet and greet and offers day, so it can be a stressful time for people. After meet and greet is when most employers actually started looking closely at profiles in a bit more detail, comparing candidates and trying to figure out who was going to be a best fit for their team. Hey, welcome. I see there's 11 of you there now, so that's great. I'm sorry that we started a bit late, but we're into it now. So the link to the slides that I'm talking to are in the event listing on our website, and I'm up to this one, which is slide number 11. About to move on to, no I'm not, slide number 10 now. Roll on. Okay, slide number 10 is talking about what the employers are doing after interviews and how they're reducing their shortlists down towards their final picks for the role. One of the things that's very hard when you're a candidate at this time is that the shortlists are getting shorter, and you might see that you're no longer being considered for a role, which is really, really painful and horrible. Mostly rejection sucks no matter where it occurs, but in the job hunting process that can be terrible. My only advice for you is it's not personal. It is very much about fit for the role and fit for their team. So as much as you can, please be resilient through this. If you get an opportunity to ask for feedback, potentially if you've had a job interview but they tell you they're not continuing with your application, it's a really good opportunity to just ask for a bit of constructive feedback in terms of what would you like me to do to be good for this role in future, or if I apply again next year, what sort of areas do you think I should work on improving? As I said before, after the initial interviews, the companies will be following through their own recruitment practices. This could include more interviews, could include technical tests, personality tests, Myers-Briggs stuff. Some of them are doing just a whole range of different things that they need to do. What we're asking companies to do is actually quite a big deal, is compress their recruitment process into just a couple of weeks. So this is a bit of a challenge for a lot of them, so they're moving quite quickly at the moment. Right, now I'm on to slide number 11, which is what some of you may have been experiencing, which is that you can be quite busy if you have got interviews following on from meet and greet. It is a great time to keep checking your voicemail, your inbox, and making sure that you're not missing any opportunities. If you are asked for things that seem quite overwhelming, like if there's a challenge or a project that they're asking that's going to take a lot of time and you've got time pressures on your life, it's perfectly okay to ask for an extension, either for the interview process or for your assignments or things that might also be pressuring on you. Always good advice to ask questions back in a job interview situation, but I'm sure you all know this already. I'm going to move on to slide number 12, which is where we're getting into the recruitment zone, which is the offers which are happening next week, the nitty-gritty. here we go. Slide number 13 is a reminder that things are going to happen quite quickly. It might feel like this week has been very, very long, waiting to hear back from people, but once offers are released at 10 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday the 4th, you will have 6 hours to decide on your response, which is not actually very long, which is why we're encouraging you now to think about the scenarios of what roles you really want, what your priorities would be, and what criteria you need to make a decision. So slide number 14 is just what we're telling employers at this time, which is before they make their official offer, we're really encouraging them to communicate with their candidates. This means telling their top candidates that an offer might be coming, that they are a preferred candidate. We're hoping that they won't put pressure on you. We really ask everyone to wait until offers day for final commitments. The reason from your perspective as a candidate is that you don't actually know if a better offer might not be coming. We want you to have all your options in front of you at the same time. On their side, they want certainty. If they want you, they're telling you that they want you. As I say, official offers are not until the 4th of October. So slide number 15, yes, this can be really stressful. It can be stressful if you're not on any shortlists. It can be stressful if you're on, if you have had an interview and haven't heard, and it can also be stressful if you're on multiple shortlists. So I'm really sorry, but the good news is it will be over on Wednesday. Our advice to you is that you can definitely say if you're interested in a role, but you should also not make a commitment until offers day. You should tell the companies that you're waiting until the 4th of October, and if you're feeling stressed out or conflicted or overwhelmed by any of this, just let us know. We're definitely here to help. Slide number 16, the majority of candidates in our program are not going to get any offers. It is very competitive, and I'm sorry, I wish we had jobs for everyone. We have currently got 1,500 candidate profiles on our website and about 230 internship roles, so it's competitive. If you weren't shortlisted for a role, if you didn't get any interviews this year, it's okay. There are definitely other jobs out there. We encourage you to keep applying for other roles. If you are studying next year, please come back and try again. A lot of people who succeed in our internship program have done it for a full year before. It's almost like a dress rehearsal. So please come back and then give it another go next year. So I'm moving on to slide number 18, which is the mechanics of what happens for our offers process next week. So employers will be loading offers onto our website. In order to load an offer, they must have a position available, and they must also have you on a shortlist. So if you can see on your profile on the My Jobs page that you are being considered for a role, that means that you could potentially receive an offer after offers day. On slide number 19, we encourage employers to load up some backup offers in case their preferred candidate declines. This does happen. Last year, I think our most popular candidate had 9 offers, which was actually really stressful to try and pick which one. So I've got some advice coming up later in this presentation about how to do that, how to choose if you are lucky enough to have multiple offers. But just for your sanity, peace of mind, if you can see on your profile that you are being considered for a role, that means there is potential for an offer to arrive on Wednesday the 4th of October. We are also encouraging the employers to communicate with you by email or by voice or something to let you know if you are a preferred candidate and that an offer is coming. So you should not be getting any official offers until the email comes out on offers day, the 4th of October. So slide number 20 has got a lot of text on it. This is what happens from your perspective. If you receive an email with a Summer of Tech offer, you have got 6 hours to accept or decline, or the offer will expire, which will enable the employer to send one to roll down to their next preferred candidate. We highly encourage you to accept quickly if you are going to do so. If you don't have a certain outcome, a decision very quickly, that's totally okay. Think it through, get some advice, talk to us if you're stressing out about it. If you accept a role from our program just by clicking the accept button on the website, that means that both your profile and the role are matched and you're both removed from our database. So no regrets. When you click accept, that's a yes, because when you and the role are taken out of the database, that means that you are no longer a candidate for any other roles, and that role is no longer available to any other students. If you are sitting on multiple offers and you accept one, then automatically all the other offers will be declined. So that's cool. You don't even need to think about it. It will send an automatic professional, I'm sorry, I cannot accept this role, to other roles that you don't know. You can absolutely decline offers that you get through our program. You have free will, it's totally okay. So if you decide that if you get one offer and you don't actually want to do that role, you can decline it. And that will send a message back to the company just saying that regretfully you do not accept their position, and that will enable them to roll down to the next candidate. So slide number 21 is talking about what happens if you wait and the reason behind our 6-hour deadline. We had an issue in 2014 when a lot of students were waiting for that perfect offer to come along. They might have eyed up another job, or they just wanted to see how many offers they were going to get. Unfortunately, that held up the entire process and slowed things down for everyone. We estimate that about 5 or 6 roles were lost out of that process because the roles could not get to their preferred candidate on time. So we started this 6-hour thing in 2015 and it went way better. It meant that everyone was in a position to decide much faster because they'd thought about it carefully beforehand. We ended up filling 95% of roles on offers day. Same thing happened last year, so we're rolling with the 6-hour thing. So on slide number 22, just a reminder that waiting for offers is not necessarily the best policy. Only 5% of candidates got an additional offer after the first role. So the first set of offers is usually your best shot. If you are waiting and watching and anxiously wanting to find out about a role, if it's visible on the website, it will still be available. Once it's been filled, it will be greyed out and you will be able to see that that role has been filled. So slide number 23, I'm moving into talking about how do we make these decisions. This section is really designed for people who have got multiple offers through our program, but it's also relevant for making any kind of career decision. John Clegg posted a blog post on our site on this topic yesterday, but I'm just going to roll through some tips for how you can make the best possible career decision. So skipping on to slide number 25, which looks like this. It's basically a whole list of some criteria to help you evaluate job offers. So one of the things we're going to ask you is, what does success look like for you? Here are some criteria that's going to be different for everyone. The priorities for these things really depends on what you're up to, where you're at in your life, where you want to go, where you want this internship to take you. But I'll roll through a couple more slides and take you through these different criteria and our thoughts around them. By the way, I'm not going to tell you which role to pick. The whole team here is really wanting to, we can't make that decision for you. We'll be neutral and we'll try and help you get to a good outcome for you. So thinking about on slide 27, in 3 months' time, what has this internship done for you? So what do you want success to look like at the end of the summer? With that framing, slide 28, the actual job, what activities would you do in this role? All the jobs on our site are different. They've got different goals and objectives, and their organisations are different as well. But if you drill into the actual tasks that you'll be doing throughout the internship, thinking about, is that a fit for what you want to be doing now and in the future? Will you be working on a lot of different projects, or will you have ownership for one thing? Is it going to stretch you a bit? An internship is a great time to learn some stuff, to challenge yourself, and to work in a different way than you might have been working throughout your studies. And is it a match with what you think your career path might be? Again, an internship can be a great way to test out something that you're not sure about, or just to give something a go. You're not committing to it for the rest of your life. Looking at slide number 29, thinking about, are you going to learn in this role? And that can be one of the best opportunities for learning, to apply what you've learnt at uni, to actually bring it into the work situation. We would really advise you to pick a internship where you're going to learn and work with people and mentors who you're going to learn from. A lot of training and on-the-job training is definitely self-directed, although the organisation may well have resources or a program to actually train and onboard you into the role. Think about what that means for you. Ask them. Will there be internal or external training provided? Will they allow you time or give you resources to learn stuff as you go? For the specific skills that you're working on in the role, are they current, in demand? Are they edgy? Are they emerging? Are they likely to set you up for a good career? And do they match the kind of skills that you want to develop? Slide number 30, thinking about the organisation. In our program this year, we've got everything from startups and non-profits to SMEs, small and medium businesses. We've got corporates, we've got government departments. All these different types of organisation are going to have a different culture. An internship with one of them could be a chance to test something out, to work in a particular environment, to understand how big or small teams work. If you think about the type of organisation and where their business is at, this can really reflect on what the culture is like in there. If they're in a growth phase of their organisation, or if they're a mature company and quite stable, that will really play out differently in terms of how your team works and what the emphasis is during your internship. Another question that might be in your mind if you're graduating this year, or if you're looking to work part-time while you finish your study, would be, does this organisation have a track record hiring their interns, keeping them on after the internship? That's a really cool question for you to ask during an interview, and it could form part of your decision making if you are looking for a role in 2018. It's perfectly acceptable to ask the company. They may not know, but it's good to know if they have hired interns or grads or retained them in the past. Even bigger picture around the employer, will it look good on your CV? Will it set you up for a career in a particular pathway? Will it help your career development? Slide 31, thinking about the environment. I touched on this before. The different types of organisations will have a different culture in the workplace. If you get an opportunity to visit the workplace, I would highly encourage you to do that. You can get a really good feel for if you're going to feel comfortable there. They should even be able to show you where your desk might be. You can tell a lot from talking to the people who work there, as well as from the building, what their values are, what the work culture might be. Are there any particular perks? Are they talking about, do they have a fruit bowl? Do they have a pool table? Do they have any social activities? If those kinds of things are important to you, that can really help you make your decision if you've got different options to choose from. Slide number 33, thinking about the actual tools you'll be using to do your job. Some of these are a bit technical, sorry to our biz people or our design people, but thinking about the actual tools that you'll be using day to day in your role. Are they things that you're familiar with? And if not, are they things you wanted to learn? Do you think they're easy to learn? And how are they going to set you up for your next role and your next role? Is it stuff that you actually want to be learning? Slide number 33 is thinking about the people. So who will you be working with on a day-to-day basis? Who will be your mentor, your manager, your peers? What's their demographics? Are they from a similar background or a different background to you? Not that there's anything right or wrong with either way. Will you be working with people with different skill sets? Because this is one of the key things that you often don't get when you're studying, is the option to work with people at different skill levels and from different disciplines. So this could be a real advantage. During your interview process, hopefully you get to meet your potential mentor. This could be really key. Is that going to be somebody you'll be excited to be working with? Will you learn stuff from them? Is it going to be a really engaging experience? The other part of that could be the extension of the community. Maybe your potential employer would host or be part of local meetup groups. You might actually get to meet other people in the city or in the wider community in your discipline. Nearly there. Slide 34. Thinking for yourself your short-term goals. What do you want out of this internship? Do you want the chance to build something, the chance to apply your learning? Do you want to pay off some student loan over the summer? There could be a whole range of things that you want to accomplish during the summer. I'd really encourage you to write them down as part of your decision-making process. You've got other options for what you could be doing this summer, so think about what's going to get you closer to success. Slide 35, thinking about your longer-term career goals, or maybe using the internship to help you figure out what your career goals might be, could help you shape your course choices for uni. If you're going back next year, you might want to reflect on what you do in your internship to see if there's different things for you to study. Your internship can definitely be a stepping stone into different long-term goals. Any experience you get in industry is definitely going to help, no matter whether you end up following that path or not. Sometimes the only way to find out about something is to actually give it a go. Slide 36, and there's a very good reason this is the last thing for you to consider, is money. We work really hard with the employers to get a living wage, which is New Zealand $20.20 per hour. The investment they're making is actually a lot bigger than that. Your wages form up a very small part of it. The time for their senior people to plan your project, to support you, supervise and mentor you, is actually going to cost them a whole lot more than that. The range of wages last year was between $18 and $33 last year, but we have seen a lot of midpoints around that 20 to 24 mark. We also know that often students will not be motivated by the money primarily, although it's quite handy. But if you can get a foot in the door with an organisation and to be doing the right kind of work, that can actually set you up for success later on. Slide 37 is talking about if you think you're worth more or you want to negotiate more, absolutely worth doing. We want you to be paid fairly for the work that you're doing. However, we would encourage you to think about the best time to negotiate for a pay rise, which could actually be the end of your internship, when you have a track record of having worked for that company for 3 months. That is a fantastic time, and it's very, very common for the wages to go up considerably when you go from intern to employee. That is often a good time to do it. We have seen that students who try to negotiate hard during the intern negotiations or play one company off against each other often end up with no offers. It comes down to the attitude that you're portraying in terms of whether you're an intern or a very senior member of staff. They're expecting to have to teach you a lot. So slide 38, it's just repeating what I just said in terms of the best time to negotiate is after the internship. Slide 39 is just saying that the criteria that I've just laid out are potentially a useful thing to be asking the employer as part of the interview process. It could also be a way for you to list down the criteria that are important to you, and you can start writing a list of pros and cons. So slide 40 is just another list of that. And slide 41 is talking about options for listing the pros and cons around each category for different roles. You could also do a really awesome spreadsheet with like weighted scores. I've seen some pretty awesome ones of those. Just really what is going to help you decide what the best decision for you is going to be around your internship. The other thing I would encourage you to do is talk it through with someone, because often you get quite stuck in the different options that you've got. So if you find someone who ideally knows the industry but also who knows you, and talk through the different options you've got. So slide 42, again, just different ways to evaluate if you do have multiple different pathways that you could take this summer. is to give the different criteria a bit of a weighting. Slide 43 is a reminder that it's not all about the money. The money will follow. You're working in tech or a biz field, and these are well-paid, highly skilled careers. So give it a go with your internship. You will have plenty of chances to make lots of money later on. On slide 44, just encouraging you to be pretty open and honest with yourself and with others about what's important to you in terms of accepting or rejecting an offer. Slide 45 is just saying, hey, we're here to help. Please do ask us. We're going to be neutral. We're not going to tell you what to do, but we could help with insights into particular organisations, particular roles or career paths, or we could introduce you to someone who maybe has been an intern at that company in past years. Slide 46 is just a reminder that at the end of the day it could come down to your gut. There is no wrong answer really in terms of responding to different opportunities. But there are some situations where sensible people who may actually not know much about your industry suggest that you go with the least risky path. And we've seen some really good situations where people have gone for a slightly quirky, risky pathway and come out with some really awesome experiences. Getting to the end, so slide 47 is our encouragement to wait until offers day to make your final decision, and when the offers do come, make a decision as quickly as you feel comfortable doing so, and if you do need more time, ask for more time, get in touch with our team. If you're under pressure, slide 48, let us know. We can support you in terms of your conversations with employers, and if you are wanting to know how to be professional in declining or accepting or having conversations with employers about different roles, let us know. We've definitely seen it before. Slide 49 is if you are in the situation where you do have multiple offers on offers day, it is a really good idea. Let's say you have more than 3 offers, to decline the ones that you definitely know, because that's going to put them back in the system and allow another student to have the opportunity to get that role. If you can get it down to your top 1 or 2, your top 2 or 3, as quickly as possible, that would be great. Our advice for declining roles is that you can be professional and succinct. You do not have to go into a great deal of detail. Be aware that the employer may be disappointed, but as long as you're upfront and professional and honest through the whole process, that is going to stand you in good stead. One of the challenging things with living in New Zealand is that you will probably bump into these people several times in your career, possibly several times during the summer. So you just need to be upfront and clear about your intentions and then about your reasons for declining or not with the role. Slide number 50 says that if you have one offer and you're happy with it, you should accept it, unless it's something that you really don't want to do. Most situations, getting a foot in the door, being really awesome in that role, will give you an opportunity to move sideways within a company. So even if it's not your 100% perfect opportunity, it could actually be worthwhile as a pathway. Slide 51, recapping that if you do have more than 2 offers, there's one that you definitely don't want, please decline it so it goes back into the system. Where are we up to? Slide 52. Choosing the right thing. Choose something that ignites your passion, that you're going to get out of bed excited about every morning throughout the summer when your friends could be at the beach. You've got to want to do this. It will be pretty obvious pretty soon if you don't. Slide 53 is a reminder about professionalism. 54 has a list of things that your mother would have told you to just be polite and professional. Keep that balance of, yes, I'm awesome, but I'm also a humble intern as you're in negotiations with them. If you are being chased by a number of different employers for lots of different interviews, please know that you're very lucky. There are people who wish they were in your situation. I know it can be stressful, but a lot of students don't have any follow-ups after meet and greet. So it is a very competitive situation. If you do get stressed out on offers day, it's absolutely okay to call a timeout. Make sure you talk to us about it. We can definitely support you if you feel that 6 hours is not enough time to get good advice and to make a good decision. It's okay to ask for extra time. If the employer really wants you, they will wait. Slide 55 is a bit of a reminder that attitude is pretty much trumps everything when it comes to job hunting. Playing employers off against each other, negotiating hard for an internship role often doesn't work out well for the candidate, and you absolutely want to maintain a professional reputation because New Zealand, trust me, is a very small place. Slide 56 is just a bit of a summary about what's happening in terms of our process. I'm going to recap the mechanics of it. At 10 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of October is when our first wave of offers will be released. They'll go out to the top candidates for each role that the employer has chosen to offer. If you receive one of those, congratulations. You will have 6 business hours to respond. You can accept or decline each role. 6 business hours means that we stop the clock at 5 p.m. and we start the clock at 9 a.m. and we stop it on the weekends as well. We're expecting pretty much all of our roles to be filled on offers day and possibly the day after. This does mean that you could be receiving an offer after 10 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of October. That is, if another candidate declines a role, it will roll down to the backup candidate, and that could be you. So you could receive an offer any time after 10 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of October. You might have noticed on the website we've had a couple of new employers sign up this week. So obviously they've missed meet and greet and speed interviews. They'll be doing their own interview processes, and a couple of companies have told me they will not be ready to offer on offers day. So there could be 1 or 2 roles that will come up later on in October. We have had new roles arrive on our system as late as December. So although the bulk of activity will happen on the 4th of October, there could be bits and pieces afterwards. Alrighty, slide number 57. If it's busy for you, you're lucky. I hope you can juggle your family and university commitments around the interviews. Thank you for your participation. Keep your communication professional. Try not to be too pushy. I know you want certainty for the summer. I know that the businesses do too. Good news is it's nearly over. I'm going to skip right to slide number 60, which says, if you're not shortlisted and if you don't have any interviews, I'm sorry. Please don't take it personally. I know that sucks. It is a learning opportunity. If you get a chance to ask for feedback, please do so. We will definitely encourage you to treat it as a learning opportunity. If you're studying or graduating in the next 12 months, then we can definitely help you again next summer. Just keep trying, keep applying for roles. There are always jobs popping up, and we encourage you to continue to apply for things both within our program and outside in the real world. And a reminder that most students who participate in our program find success the second year, because there's quite a bit to it, and sometimes the networking your way to a job can be a bit scary. Slide 61 says any questions, so I'm about to sign off from this live stream and jump into Intercom. So if you sign into the Summer of Tech, Summer of Biz website, there's a little speech bubble down the bottom right, so please send us through your questions. We'll be online definitely for the next half hour, but also pretty consistently between now and all next week, which is Offers Week. So drop us a direct message. I wish you all the very best of luck for Offers Week. If you do have any questions, hit us up. Good luck. See ya. Pressing the button to finish. Bye.